Tonight on Mello TV Sports, rain washes out day one of the Windies' final intra-squad match. MITROVIC suspended for 3 games, and KAEPERNICK's early years to be turned into a documentary. We bowl off Mello TV Sports with cricket, as the West Indies cricketers were frustrated by rain in Manchester, as today's day one of their final internal warm-up game ahead of the Test series against England was entirely wiped out. The tourists took part in a 3-day run-out at Emirates Old Trafford last week, but a second 4-day fixture at the same venue has yet to begin due to today's inclement weather. Wicketkeeper Shane Dowrich and fast bowlers Shane Thomas and Keon Harding were initially left out of the 11 versus 11 clash, but the West Indies should be permitted to make changes when the game eventually begins. Now, coach Phil Simmons will watch the game from the balcony of his hotel room, having gone into self-isolation as a precaution after leaving the camp on compassionate grounds on Friday. Simmons has twice tested negative for the coronavirus since returning and will have another test on Wednesday before being allowed to rejoin the squad. The West Indies will play England at the Aggies Bowl from July 8 before the behind closed doors 3-test series moves to Emirates Old Trafford for the final 2 games from July 16 and July 24 respectively. The Caribbean side will wear the Black Lives Matter logo on their test shirts, having received permission from Watford captain Troy Deeney, whose partner Alicia Ohsana created the design, which includes a clenched fist of solidarity within a circle. England captain Joe Root is set to miss the first test against the West Indies next week to attend the birth of his second child. Now, the test begins on July 8 and limits on player movement for the biosecure matches, meaning Root will be unable to leave and immediately rejoin the squad. Ben Stokes is set to captain England for the first time in Root's absence. We kick it over to football news now. Former FIFA Vice President Alfredo HAWIT was spared further jail time today as a U.S. judge told him to return to Honduras 4 years after he pleaded guilty to the FIFA Gate corruption scandal. HAWIT, the ex-president of CONCACAF, pleaded guilty in April 2016 to 4 counts relating to the bribery affair that sent shockwaves through FIFA. The charges included racketeering and conspiracy to obstruct justice. During a video conference hearing before New York Judge Pamela Chen today, the 68-year-old said through an interpreter that he was very sorry for his crimes. Chen stated that HAWIT had shown an extraordinary acceptance of responsibility as she sentenced him to time already spent in prison. Fulham striker Alexander Mitrovic has been suspended for 3 games following an incident in Saturday's 3-0 championship loss against Leeds United. Now, Mitrovic caught Ben White with his elbow early on in the match. The incident was not seen by referee Tony Harrington, but the 25-year-old has been punished retrospectively after accepting a charge of violent conduct by the Football Association. Mitrovic is the joint top scorer in the EFL this season with 23 strikes. Juventus veterans Gianluigi Buffon and Giorgio Chiellini have both agreed new 1-year deals at the Turin club. Buffon's new contract comes a year after he returned to Juve following a 12-month stint in France at Paris Saint-Germain. The former Italy international goalkeeper's new deal will come to an end exactly 20 years after he joined Juventus. Buffon, now aged 42, has made 13 appearances in all competitions this season and holds the record for the most Serie A appearances in the club's history. He became the second oldest player in Champions League history when he featured against Bayer Leverkusen in the campaign's group stage. Juventus captain Chiellini will also remain at the club for at least another year. On to track and field news now. No athlete should minimize the importance of the whereabouts rule. That's the word from World Athletics President Sebastian Coe after Christian Coleman missed 3 doping tests. The world 100-meter champion is provisionally suspended while he disputes the 3rd whereabouts failure. The American claims he was Christmas shopping near his home and the tester made no contact effort to reach him. Now, the Athletics Integrity Unit, AIU, said it did not regard Coleman's explanation for missing the test as a defense, as it was not their policy to call in athletes if they were not at the designated address. Cole said it's not a good story for athletics. Now, Coleman, who won his first major title at the World Championships in Doha, Qatar last year, had previously missed a test on January 16, 2019 and experienced a filing failure on April 26, 2019. 3 whereabout failures in a 12-month period can result in a ban of up to 2 years by the AIU. The story of the NFL star and civil rights activist Colin Kaepernick's early years is being made into a documentary. The 6-part series entitled Colin in Black and White will feature on Netflix. The 32-year-old Kaepernick became a symbol in the fight against racial injustice while he kneeled in protest during the United States national anthem 4 years ago. His Take the Knee gesture has since been used as a sign of protest against racial inequality by sports people across the globe, including recently by Premier League footballers and match officials. The TV series will look at Kaepernick's early life as a black child growing up with a white adopted family and what led him to become the activist he is today. Now to end tonight's sports package, we present you with the play of the night, Kyrie Irving's crossover moves against the Houston Rockets.
I think they oh my goodness, Kyrie the handle. Too good.
And those are the stories making sports news tonight. We now head back to the news desk with Shelly and Hill.
Thank you, Christopher. And now to end tonight's newscast, here are the main points. Kingston police investigating alleged targeted killings of 2 women from the Rima community. Co-director for the PNP's election campaign and East Kingston and Port Royal's MP Philip Paulwell says that the party will be utilizing every available skill of persons within the party to ensure that the PNP wins the next general election. Councillor Sylvan Reid of the Salt Spring Division, joined by other political representatives and residents, to demonstrate against his dismissal from the municipal corporation. And the St. James Municipal Corporation partners with the Caribbean Carib Cement Company Limited and Jamaica Premix Concrete to prevent the spread of COVID-19 in the parish. And that's our news package for you tonight. Thank you for tuning in to Mello TV Evening News at 8. I am Shelly Ann Hill. Stay safe and pleasant viewing.
The Mello TV Evening News at 8 was brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with the cold or flu-like symptoms. If you think you've been exposed to COVID-19, stay home. Self-isolate immediately and call 888-1-LOVE. That's 888-663-5683. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.